Sleeping over at a rich person's house is so crazy because one time my friend Colin invited me over for a sleepover, but I had never been to his house before. So when I arrived to the address he gave me, I knock on the door and a man in a fancy outfit answers, but I knew it wasn't his parents because I've seen them before. So this guy asks if I'm here to see my friend and I say yes. So he welcomes me in and tells me where Colin's at. And when I get to Colin, I ask who that guy at the front door was and he goes, "Oh, that's our butler." Dog, you have a butler? I thought that was just a thing in Batman. But then it gets more crazy because around midnight, he asks all of us if we want to go to the movie theater. So I was like, I mean, that sounds fun, but isn't the movies closed by now? And he goes, "Oh no, we have a movie theater in the house." So he takes us into the movie theater room and there's like 10 reclining chairs and like a 500-inch TV. The moment I saw this, I was on my best behavior the rest of the time because I was hoping his parents would just adopt me. Nobody talks about the difference between dress codes for girls versus guys at school. Because you would have thought everyone in my class was super down bad with how much the students got dress coded. Like the girls would get so angry because anything they tried to wear got them sent straight to the principal's office. There was one time where a girl wore a long sleeve shirt that completely covered her whole body, but it was a little baggy around the neck. So when she adjusted it, you could see her shoulder. And the moment the teacher saw that shoulder peeking out, he sent her straight to the office and she came back with a XXL gym shirt on. But what even is the thought process there? Are there really people at school gooning over a girl's shoulder? I mean, I thought toe fetishes were weird, but y'all are taking it to the next level. Meanwhile, dress codes for guys at my school was basically non-existent. I remember during Halloween, one kid literally did not wear a shirt to school and the teacher didn't care. Honestly, my theory is that the dress code is for the teachers, not the students. Did anyone else ever have a classmate who would only show up to school like once a month? And whenever they showed up, it felt like a special occasion because they were normally never there. I have no idea how these types of people pass their classes though, because there was one kid I sat next to who literally did not show up for 25 days straight. So the day he came back, I was like, "Bro, where were you? Did you go hike Mount Everest or something?" And he says, "Nah, I just went to see the 7 wonders of the world with my family." Huh? Why'd you just say that like it's normal? Like that's the tone I use when I have to tell someone I clogged the toilet. But I did not like sitting next to him because when he finally got back, we had a group project to do. But 3 days later, he was gone again and he didn't return for 2 weeks. So I had to do the whole project on my own. He just got done seeing the 7 wonders of the world. Where was he going this time? Mars? You know, actually, don't even answer that because he probably was. Nobody talks about how scary it was when the principal came to your classroom during school. Because I remember one time during class, all the students were talking, but the moment that door opened and we saw that it was the principal, the whole class immediately went silent. You would have thought she was a military leader with how scared she made everyone without even saying anything. She walked in and I was like, should I salute her or something? I don't know. But what was so funny about when the principal came to our class was our teacher would turn from the meanest person ever to the kindest. All of a sudden, someone would answer a question and the teacher would be like, "Good job, Anthony, you're so smart." Even though just 2 days ago, she told Anthony he's gonna be working at Walmart when he graduates. But what was really scary was when the principal would sit down next to you. Cause she sat down next to me a couple times and she would be like, "What are you working on?" And my hand would be shaking and I'd be like, I don't know. I was watching LeBron highlights. Then 5 minutes later, she would just vanish. I don't think my heart rate has been that high since. Oh, you think you want to have a child one day? Well, just know that one time I was sleeping over at my friend's house and he has a little brother named Jimmy. And it was like 2 a.m. so everyone was asleep, but I was super thirsty. So I went to the kitchen to get some water and Jimmy's there. And he comes up to me and says, "I can't sleep because there's a monster under my bed. Can you check it?" And I say, "There's a what?" And he says, "A monster." Dog, I wanted to say, hell no, I ain't checking that because I'm just as terrified as you are, Jimmy. Like, get your parents to do this, bro. I'm scared of monsters too. But I become super brave, so I check under his bed anyway, and I tell him that there's nothing under there, and then I say, "Do you think you can go to sleep now?" And he says, "No, because there's a ghost in my closet." What do you mean there's a ghost in your closet? And why can you even see ghosts? So I draw the line there and I'm like, "Jimmy, there's no ghost in your closet." The only reason I told him that is because I was too scared to check. But then he asked me if I can stay in the room with him and he covers his whole body with his blanket so the ghost can't get to him. I'm thinking, man, give me that blanket. I don't want the ghost to get me either. Like, they don't discriminate. But it made me think, how am I gonna do this when I have my own kid? I can't be this brave all the time. I am not a Ghostbuster. What would you do if you accidentally made everyone in your school throw up? Because that's what I did. So I was at school one day and the guy sitting right next to me farted, but he blamed it on me. So everyone laughed at me and I decided right there that I was gonna get revenge on this kid. And luckily, he was throwing a party at his house that night. So I was trying to think of ways that I could get payback on him. And then it hit me. I'm gonna spray fart spray all around his house so people think that his house smells like farts. So I got to the party and everyone was having a great time and I snuck around the house and sprayed fart spray everywhere. And if you know anything about fart spray, it smells awful. But I thought what happened after I did this is that everyone would think this kid's house smells like farts and they would start laughing at him like they did to me. But I think I sprayed so much of the fart spray that it literally made people throw up, like everywhere. One person even threw up on the guy's dog. I didn't want that to happen. Honestly though, I only did this because I was insecure. So be proud of your farts. Never answer a phone call from a no caller ID because I just got like 10 of those within a couple minutes and I kept declining them, but they didn't stop. So I was like, okay, this must be important. So I finally answered the phone and I hear someone with an obvious voice changer that makes them sound like the puppet from Saw, and they say, hello. But unlike the people in the horror movies, I decide to do the rational thing and I just hang up the phone. But they keep calling and I don't know how to block a no caller ID. So I pick up the phone again and they say, why'd you hang up on me, Tyler? So at this point, I'm like, oh, cool. They know my name. That's not good. And then I finally say my first words to them, which was, who are you? And still using the voice changer, they try to say, I'm your worst nightmare. But in the middle of saying that, they laugh and then they say, dang it. And the voice changer finally comes off and they say, I'm just kidding, it's Grayson. And Grayson is a kid that my family used to babysit and he just turned 10 years old. So for his 10th birthday, his mom got him his first phone. So to Grayson's mom, please return that phone. Your son scares me.